What's going on? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today when I talk to you on Lucid, I want to break it down on what's been coming out, what is causing it to go down as much as it is, and everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Always greatly appreciate that. And with that said, let's get right to it. So right now, Lucid is down 7.01%. There was another new 52-week and all-time low of $2.55. 42.9 million shares being traded, 41.8 is the average. We are about to head into power hour somewhat, but still this is another crappy day. And as you can kind of see over the last little bit, what is this? I think 15 consecutive red days. There's very little optimism when it comes to Lucid, even more so based on a lot of the stuff that's been coming out. So there has been no news from Lucid, no PR, no SEC filings, nothing like that. They've been absolutely radio silent. And I feel like that's been the worst aspect of it all. I've seen some other companies just put out fluff just to say that they're participating at a stupid conference or something like that. Like, Lucid has done absolutely nothing to help shareholders and their confidence and help the sentiment right now. So not the best kind of scenario. And plus, the technicals are looking even worse than what they previously were. So I'm going to go over the new price prediction for Lucid, because the previous one, based on the Elliott wave, it did hit. So it did say it's going to be anywhere from about 230 to about 255, and it did hold to be very true. One thing that I wanted to share with you, as I've been saying since on and off about August of 2022, so it has been quite some time, and a lot of people didn't really like me when I started to really come out openly about it, but even this. So right now, it looks like some people are getting emails from Lucid itself, which is fine, whatever. That's their marketing way, because they like word of mouth, they like test drives and whatever. But it does look like there's a ton of Lucid peers or Air peers that is on their website right here. And this is something that is very concerning. So the lowest price model vehicle they have oversupply of. If that didn't scream demand issue, I don't know what does. So once again, as I've said in the past, I always like to give you the good, the bad, and the ugly. My videos as of late have been very ugly because that's just basically what's been happening. I still do like Lucid. I did do a poll on Twitter recently just saying, like, who is buying Lucid right now? And I'll give you a good overview of what the actual results were. So such as right here. So what price would you buy more Lucid at? And only 323 votes, so not all that much, but some people are buying it right now, sub $250, sub $2, and then there is some individual saying, I'm never buying more. And I feel like I fit that criteria. I'm not buying any more Lucid until management comes out and does something different. If not, it's just going to be the same old, same old. Like, Peter is just going to be talking on technology, and I'm kind of worried about this upcoming earnings, to be fully honest, because as I've said in the past, even though some people don't like Sherry House, or did like Sherry House, I guess, she saved Peter. And I don't know if Sherry's replacement, I don't know his name off the top of my head, but I don't know if he is going to have the same stance on to kind of know when to step in to really help Peter from his ranting. Because right now, a lot of investors, almost every single Lucid investor, is going to be coming into this earnings and wanting answers. And if Peter is unable to provide those answers, or at least a acceptable answer overall, then the market is just going to shit all over Lucid. Pardon my French. So once again, this news is not good about potentially just them having a demand issue. And this is why nobody wants to buy Lucid. So these are some of the transactions that have occurred on the secondary market above $100,000. And so far today, there hasn't even been one transaction over $1 million. And I can't even remember the last time that occurred. So big money is literally taking a step back. Despite the higher volume, a lot of that is just algorithmic trading. So a lot of AI just trading back and forth with each other. So it's kind of misleading, but technically, nobody wants to buy Lucid. So like I've said in the past, like, if management, Peter, is not putting his damn money where his mouth is and willing to buy more, why would anyone else want to buy Lucid? But then again, I'm not a financial advisor. You guys always do your own due diligence. Lucid shorts are taking advantage of this whole scenario. So currently they are increasing 1.49 million shares. 29.22% of the free float is being shorted. 258.65 million shares overall are being shorted. Cost to borrow average is 15.88. So a little bit higher in comparison to yesterday. So when it comes down to it, shorts are having a field day. Lucid seems to be completely destroying itself. The technicals definitely are not helping in this circumstance as well. But even if you are one of those individuals that likes to look at metrics and a lot of the numbers behind the scenes, Lucid is still somewhat considered overvalued, because looking at the PS ratio, it is 9.1. Way back when, obviously 2022, it was 372. This is why everyone and their dog was saying it was overvalued. Lucid didn't really capitalize and kind of put their production where it should have been back then. But beside the point though, even as it stands right now, 9.1 and then the future is 6.5. In comparison, Polestar is at like 1.4. Tesla is at 2.5. So Lucid, in theory, in comparison to even Tesla, which I don't feel like it's fair, but even comparing it to Tesla, it is almost about 5 times more overvalued. So if Lucid is not really able to ramp up on production or is willing to license to OEMs or someone else, then Lucid stock price is going to go down dramatically. And this is why you do see a new updated Elliott Wave technicals, and it is scary. So it does show a pivot point of $3.12. So for as long as Lucid is below that, then it is anticipated to be anywhere between $1.88 and $2.09. And so far over the last 6 months, these Elliott Wave technicals have been on point. And you can always go back to my Twitter. I post all of this all the time. So for documentation purposes, you can always just double check. And yeah, it has been very much accurate every single time. So the technicals are very dangerous, and we are continuing this death spiral with management showing little to no care for investors. So it's not necessarily the best. Looking at some of the next strong support and resistance points as it stands with at 260, it is trading between this S3 and this S2. So 239 is going to be that next strong support, and then 273 is going to be that next strong resistance. It did kind of flirt a little bit with this 273, so this S2. So as it stands, I'd say 294 is very strong resistance. But right now, Lucid needs to come out with something to incentivize investors to buy. I did come out with a plan, I think, what was it, a week ago? Some people didn't like it. It's where essentially if you had X amount of shares and you could provide proof going forward that you held it for, let's say, 2 consecutive years without day trading it, they'd give you that amount in a discount by purchasing one of their vehicles, equivalent to the number of shares that you had. Of course, that plan could be refined in some aspects, but I do feel like that in among itself would increase the confidence in investors, the sentiment. It actually incentivized people to buy more and hold longer. And that way you'd get less volatility overall and more institutions as well. Like if they wanted a fleet, for instance, well, guess what? They would buy Lucid and hold it. So majority of the float wouldn't be selling. And so this is where you kind of get a lot more price stability overall. Even though technically you'd be offering a lot of money in discounts, the market cap would be saved, because the market cap, as I brought up recently, went from about 16 billion to right now we are currently at 5.9 billion. So yes, even if you did give out discounts equivalent to the number of authorized shares, or I guess outstanding shares, like you'd still stand to benefit. My own opinion, clearly I'm not a financial advisor. You guys always do your own due diligence, but as it stands, someone needs to do something to save all of this. Looking at the options activity though, so $1.06 million in calls being purchased versus 2.92 million in puts. Sentiment wise, 70% of all the options being done today are bearish. So people are anticipating for it to continue to trend down, as I've been saying. Of the call options that are being purchased, it is anticipated for it to be above 250. And for those of you that know options, that is very bad. So very little optimism, like I said. Looking at puts though, it is anticipated for it to be sub $2. So matching with this right here. So let me know your thoughts. Do you think that this is a realistic price target of $1.88 to $2.09? Or do you think it's going to bounce higher from here, go to 5, 6, whatever else? One thing I did find interesting on a side note is based on the latest Morningstar report, it does show the fair market value for Lucid being $6.50. So that's kind of optimistic, but who knows? Let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And even though Lucid is selling off almost every single day, take advantage of this promo as I've been sharing with you. So simply sign up for an account with Moomoo, throw $100 at it, and you get 5 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000. So this is one of the best deals in the market. So take advantage of free shares while you can. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that, appreciate all of you watching.